to important books that have come out in the last couple of years of My Name is Alice by Alice Muller. Another extract over here I was forwarded to make this video, and I think very, very important, and very grateful we are to record this specific video with regards to horrors that actually occurred between 1939 to 1945. Now, the Huguenots were a Protestant group that arose in France but suffered extreme prejudice and mass killings, what the author has written and forwarded to me, just as a preface, let's say. As a result, they migrated all over the world to seek more religious freedom. There are Huguenot strongholds along the eastern seaboard from Massachusetts to Florida. Various famous people, I believe, in the United States of America had, or let's say, have a Huguenot origin, from our first presidents, someone named George Washington, to a more recent president, Lyndon Johnson, to a recent primary winner, also Al Gore. Many escaped to America during colonial times for freedom of religion. Now, it's interesting. Let's speak a bit about France over here. I think it's very, very important to speak about them a bit. And friends, welcome to our community if you are watching the video for the first time. So it was in France. I think there were many Huguenot communities and churches who extended themselves to help Jewish people escape the cruel hands of the Nazis and the Vichy gendarmes during the Second World War, respectively. As respect to another religion, they also refused to even offer, let's say, pretend baptisms, but supported instead the right of Jewish people to act and practice worship towards a Jewish rite. Now, two Huguenot pastors, they were named over here, Pastor Trocma and Pastor Thiesis. They were in charge of the Service Andre. What was that? A resistance group of Huguenots in south-central France, which was centered in the Les Chambon-sur-Lignon. This happened to have been a famous town that was awarded for the Righteous Among Nations award of Yad Vashem for its actions, and it was an organization that saved, let's say, at that point in time, those wanted most by these terrible Nazis, be they Jewish, anti-Nazi, or both. That's a historical fact we're just pointing out over here. I think it was actually interesting, just to go on a bit over here, I think it was in the early 1943, the Vichy gendarmes, they came to the home of the pastor who we mentioned about before, Pastor Trocma, to arrest him, and Pastor Thiesis, they instructed his wife to produce a bag, let's say, of toiletries to accompany the two men in the solitary confinement in the jail. However, there was a huge supper preparation already underway, and some villagers came to their home to join and spread, let's say, word of the planned arrest, so that while the Vichy were having wine and food that was, let's say, offered by the wife, the townspeople prepared an entire, let's just say, as it states over here, I'm using the terminology the author has given me, an entire Bible on toilet paper, and included that inside the luggage. The entire town followed the two to the Vichy van, singing hymns, and there is so much more to read by a resistor of the name, someone over here, of the name Annie Latour. I think it was written in the year 1971 and was translated to English in the year 1980, and the author very much recommends it. Now, what is its relevance over here? That's the question, is that the author actually writes over here, My Aunt Rosa by Alice Muller and myself was just published on Amazon platform, and they hope very much Kindle will follow shortly. Many people following and reading and educating. We write the Kindle so people with vision or say neurological disorders can hear the books allowed by the Kindle assisted reader library. So how important is that? There's a presence over there with librarians and so on and so forth. This book is telling of the story of the French Holocaust as it was perceived by Alice, her Aunt Rosa, and by people of the name. And obviously there's a stark comparison, let's just say, within regards to Holocaust in two very different places. It follows Aunt Rosa until her miraculous, I believe, escape and arrival in Buenos Aires, which was in 1943 in January at that point in time. This was 83 years ago, you could say, and serving, let's just say, a reminder within an important reminder it was actually serving. So, and just to be precise, serves as a reminder of the heroic actions of much of the French resistance, as well as a warning to civilizations not to repeat the horror of the Vichy people who murdered 70,000 pure souls, and how very bad that very much has to point out, and how to drum it in so people can do the correct steps to Teshuvah. And the author over here forwarded me personally that they hope that those of who want to learn more about, let's say, the French Holocaust, or want to continue to hear the real life stories about Alice and the family, will read, I think, this specific book in of itself. So very, very important. And yeah, I think we've pretty much been to every single Talmudic academy over here so far since we started this series, friends. Now, friends, we are a community over here where we happen to be learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear, which is very, very privileged. And we were speaking about Rabbi Nissim Palombo, who was a great rabbi and very, very energetic, and someone that had some knowledge also, we have to point out. He definitely did possess over here. So that's very, very interesting. And everyone, if you tune in live for the first time, welcome to our community. And yeah, it's very important. Now, friends, we have already recorded over many, many videos with regards to Alice Muller, we have to point out, inside this series, inside our channel over here. But let's just recap some of the important videos that we recorded over, because yeah, I think it's just very, very important over here. If I put all these videos under my channel over here. That's something I will have to point out, and yeah, very important. So what are the videos that we've actually published over here so far within regards to Alice Muller? So we're just going to explore here on the channel. I recommend everyone to watch this over here, because it's so important to educate the next generation, and also the next generations and generations that are to come within regards to the horrors of actually what took place during the 1939 to 1945 time period of the Holocaust. And it always brings a huge, huge tear to my eye to have to speak about it, and how sorry you feel for anyone that did lose family members at that stage in time. It's very, very upsetting. So yeah, so there's various different videos recorded in the series. We recorded a video. The first video we recorded was back in January 2024, which was about the Remembrance Day of the International Holocaust Day. We spoke about the insights of Bulgarian Jewish history. This was in March 2024. Nisan and the Holocaust, Hebrew month of Nisan and the Holocaust. This was in April 2024. There was a yard site of a Holocaust heroine, which once again came from My Name is Alice publication, the book in of itself, which I very much recommend everyone to actually purchase this book. And one is the important works and the efforts that the author has actually went, and the trouble they have taken for all of us to look at this book is extremely, extremely huge. Hakar Tov to them for all the very, very important work that they've done over the years for all of our Misrael over here, for everyone to benefit from and to educate from. And it's important that we educate the next generation, not just the next generation, generations to come at the moment, because I heard a report apparently from the United Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken, that especially since the horrors of October the 7th, we can see really the terribleness of the anti-Semitism, that since then they've actually reduced the education within regards to the Holocaust. They haven't actually increased it, which they really should have done. They've actually reduced it. I heard this from someone named Dov Foreman, who has done a fantastic educational work over the last few years. I have to mention over here, he's been on television numerous times across the globe and has really, really spoken about this specific, topic in of itself extensively. So I recommend everyone to, just learn more within regards to that, friends. Okay, let's explore. We're exploring some of the videos that we've recorded within regards to this specific period and this specific important book in of its own right. So we did record afterwards a video on Shavuot recollections from Alice Muller. Also, that was in May 2024, right towards the end of it. And Tish B'Av, we recorded a video in July 2024. There was a book then on Al Tishkach Va'al Tislach, which was a new book at that point in time by Alice Muller and Sipora Bat Ami. I think that was we published a video in August 2024. The Rescue of Yisrael Yosef, which was also from the author of My Name is Alice by Alice Muller. This we recorded, friends, in September 2024. So that was ready. By that stage in time, we had already covered about a dozen videos, very, very important videos, let me just stress, within regards to this very, very important topic. So that's something that we have to stress out also. So, anyone tuning in live at the moment, we're speaking about a specific video within regards to Torah, let's say, historical context within regards to France between 1939 to 1943, once again connected to Alice Muller. It was actually authored by over here. So anyone watching in for the first time, it's very, very important that we educate the next generation within regards to horrors that actually occurred during that time period. And I really can't stress that enough over here, friends, as we record this over here. Okay, so let's explore some more of the videos that we recorded. We did a video also on as Rescue of Yisrael Yosef. We did one, My Name is Alice by Alice Muller, a Rosh Hashanah message back in October 2024. And we recorded a video with Yom Kippur message. This was literally a week or two afterwards. And then something for Sukkot, we connected to Hoshana Rabbah, once again from Alice. And then there was, for the Jewish festival Hanukkah, we recorded a video from My Name is Alice by Alice Muller. This was back in December 2024. And then, we also did a video within regards to Bikur Cholim from the Al Tishkach Va'al Tislach series that we're doing right at the end of January in 2025, nearly about a year ago exactly. We did one for the Hebrew month of Shvat, which we just have entered now. We recorded a video last year. I believe that was published on February the 9th, 2025. There was one for the 9th and 10th of Nisan, connected to Slovakia, 1942. That was right at the end of March 2025. We published it. A video we did for the 27th of Nisan, which was a yard site of Esther, which was obviously taken from the book My Name is Alice by Alice Muller. Then there was one Shabbat reading for Parshat, the weekly Torah portion of Acharei Mot. We did May 2025, and quite recently, about 8 months ago. Tunisia in the 1940s. We did a special tidbit with regards to that. Once again, we published that in May 2025. We did one for the Tantei Piri, if I'm not mistaken. This was in June 2025. The story of Nisan HaKohen ben Esther, we recorded in the summertime period, just right now in July 2025. Another edition was Coming to America by Alice Muller and Sipora Bat Ami. This was in August 2025. Once again, there was a story on the kosher Chinese restaurant, very educational. This was in August 2025. Then quite more recently, you could say, since September, there was Al Tishkach Va'al Tislach, education for the next generation. We did a specific topic. That was towards the end of September 2025. Then we did also, I believe, a video within regards to 8th of Tishrei, September 1944. This was connected very much to Asera Yemei Teshuvah. This was actually published quite recently in September, towards the end of September 2025. Then there was National Unity in Hungary. We did a special video on this specific book. This was published on October 22nd, 2025. And three more. We had one of the brother of Alice. This was on November in 2025, towards the start of the year. Then there was 22nd of Kislev, and connecting very much to Zot Chanukah and the connection. And Alice and Norbert, that's the title I gave over there. That was in mid-December 2025. And more recently, a New Year's Eve and Asara B'Tevet, 10th of Tevet fast we did with regards to commemoration of My Name is Alice. Very, very important. I would recommend everyone and urge everyone to persuade local councils, educate within regards to the horrors that actually took place at that point in time. We must never forget, we must re-educate. Thank God we've recorded about 30 important messages, and the author has forwarded it to us to say, especially within regards to this channel or on the entire wide web as a whole. But I really recommend everyone, please purchase book, read it, and it's very, very important educational resource that we've got over here, and how important is that to use these opportunities and educate the next generation within regards to actually what happened at that point in time. So wishing you all a meaningful day. Take care, and thank you for watching.